All right, so welcome back. Welcome back. It's in our morning show. You heard that one there, Sri Canal with healing. And speaking of healing, this morning we're talking to Ariel John. She's a healing arts facilitator. So good morning, Ariel.
Good morning. Hi,
How are you
everyone.
doing this morning?
I am well. I'm great. I'm really, really good.
All right, let's get straight into it. Tell me about the Blue Oracle. What is that?
So the Blue Oracle Healing Arts is my new company, branching out a bit from doing spoken word poetry and doing a bit more facilitation for folks in community type settings to really help people kind of comb through whether it's like trauma or just being able to touch into difficult emotions and things that, you know, we tend to want to escape from. Really being able to hold space and sit with it really intently and work through it, but using creativity as a means to move into this type of work.
You know, just this morning I was telling Carrie that, you know, I've been not feeling the effects of the COVID-19 like everybody else has been talking about with the trauma and all that, but for some reason in the last couple of days I've felt it. How can I use healing arts to help?
Sure. I mean, you're, as far as I know, that your background is within music. And I've heard you say before that sometimes you really forget like the healing power that exists when you could listen to something, maybe like a full album of somebody's music that you really enjoy. So actually, within the work that we do with Blue Oracle, we do things like journaling. We use music, we use movement, we use different types of storytelling, and also making use of the spaces that we have in the Caribbean, our natural, you know, our richness here, our natural resources. There are certain places in Trinidad that are really powerful sites of just like really good energy. You have the beaches, you have Las Cuevas. I'm thinking about Mount St. Benedict. You have places like Moruga where you could just feel like you step into those spaces and you feel like the air shift around you. It's not Port of Spain air, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So making use of the tools that we have always had as Caribbean people, and it's kind of like our God-given right to use these things to heal ourselves.
Okay, so tell me about the premise behind Counting Up and what it includes.
Yeah. So the Counting Up series is designed for folks to, you know, we usually say we're counting down, and I realized there was a bit of anxiety this year, especially where I guess people are kind of expecting that as soon as the numbers change and we switch over into 2021, that, you know, things might magically disappear. Like COVID didn't really happen.
Yep.
This whole quarantine, you know, we could sweep it under the rug. What I wanted to do was take a bit of a more realistic approach so that we carve space where we come together, and at this point virtually, to kind of reflect on the lessons that we would have learned and come through this year and prepare for whatever is on the other side of 2021, so that we're a bit more resolute, we're grounded, so that we are able to stand in the face of this kind of transition that we're making as we, as a community, heal from this, you know, pandemic situation.
So how can people become a part of this series? How can they take part in it?
Yeah, so you could register. The fastest way to get there is probably through Instagram. It's at Blue Oracle Community. There's also a number you could call. It's 264-1698. Or you could shoot us an email over at blueoracle888, BLUEORACLE 888 @gmail.com. And I could walk you through the registration process to sign up.
All right, fantastic. And is there a cost attached to being a part of this series?
Actually, yes, there is. But while there is a cost attached, I don't like it to be a hindrance. But there is a $60 cost per session.
Okay.
And we have a season package. If you are committing to all 7 sessions in advance, it's a $350. Right, so it's a bit of a discount in there. But if you're just interested and if you don't have it could be negotiated. We could figure something out. There's no deterrent involved.
Well, that's the spirit. But I also want to encourage people. I mean, it's $60 a session. I would say try at least 2 and see how you feel about it, and then, you know, continue or not if you so decide it's not for you. Because I think that it's important that we also understand that there's value to things like this, you know, especially using our art. Ariel, I want to thank you very much for this initiative, and I wish you all the best with it. Anything in particular you want to let people know about the series before we go?
Well, I mean, so while using the creative arts to heal or to gather, there's the idea that the main thing here for me is that trauma, bringing people together and togetherness, community, all of those things are one of the fastest ways of healing trauma. Isolation reinforces it. The idea that we're just like individuals going through this thing alone is what, makes us think that we can't overcome, and it brings on the overwhelm, right? So the idea of integrating ourselves, our bodies, and then finding wider spaces to facilitate that, and other people who are, in union with you, really helps us to heal. So that's the premise behind the series.
And I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you very much, Ariel John, Healing Arts Facilitator at the Blue Oracle. Well, congratulations and all the best, son. Oh, my goodness.